Shalom, shalom to Israel, shalom to the 12 tribes. Yasha Allah, giving records, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashak, Yahweh. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. This is Brother Yasha Allah, coming back, y'all. Yet another video through the Spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mahashiach, Yahweh Shah. All right, this is going into we shall be changed, right? Topic of basically receiving these immortal bodies, right? Because we're in fleshly bodies right now, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians real quick. 2 Corinthians 5, and let's start at verse 1, right? It says, "For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens." So, what's our earthly tabernacle? Or what's the earthly house of this tabernacle? What is that referring to? That's referring to our spiritual bodies. It's like not our spiritual bodies, our carnal bodies, right? The bodies that we're in right now, right? That's made of flesh and bone, right? Red blood cells, white blood cells, right? And all types of cells and microorganisms and et cetera, right? These are our fleshly bodies. And this is the earthly house of our tabernacle. But we have a building of the Most High, right? We have a, what's it called? A spiritual body, right? That the Lord said that's eternal in the heavens. That's not going to pass away. And these spiritual bodies are waiting for the elect, right? They're waiting to be clothed on, right? Or it's like you're clothed with, right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5 and 2. "For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house, which is from heaven," right? So we groan earnestly, right? Those of us that's in this truth, we're waiting for those spiritual bodies, those glorified bodies, right? You can read about the transfiguration in the book of Luke, I believe that the 9th chapter, right? The transfiguration in which Yahweh Shah, right, changed from a mortal body into his spiritual body, and he put that on, right? It's like Luke chapter right? It's like I think it might be Mark 9, right? Let's go to Mark 9, right? This is Mark. All praises. Mark chapter 9 and verse 2. "And after 6 days, Yahweh Shah taketh with him Peter and James and John." So, you know, you read that a lot of times, Yahweh Shah, he'd only take Peter, James, and John with him to perform certain miracles, right? Because guess what? Out of all the apostles, Peter, James, and John, they're one of the top, right? And out of Peter, James, and John, Yahweh Shah loved John the most, right? He's called the disciple whom Yahweh Shah loved when you read John chapter 22, right? But it says what? "And John leadeth them up into a high mountain, apart by themselves, and he was transfigured before them." What does that mean, transfigured? Meaning changed into a different shape or figure, right? Meaning that he put on his heavenly tabernacle, right? He put on his spiritual body, right? So we're waiting for this spiritual body that's eternal in the heavens, right? The elect, they're going to receive these spiritual bodies, right? Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians 15, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15. Let's go to 56, right? Come on, let's put on slack. All right, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15, verse 51, right? 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. "Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed." So we're not all going to sleep. What does that mean? All of us are not going to be dead, right? There's going to be a resurrection, right? An actual literal resurrection of bodies coming out of the graves, right? You can read about that in the book of John chapter 5, right? A resurrection unto life and a resurrection unto eternal damnation, right? Which is basically talking about the destruction, right? Some people are going to be resurrected just so that they can feel the punishment, right? Just so that they can get judged, right? there's going to be some people that are going to be resurrected so that they can be delivered, right? 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 52. But we're all going to be changed, right? In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be changed, shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed, right? So the dead are going to be raised incorruptible, meaning they're going to put on that spiritual body, right? Because these spiritual bodies, they're not corruptible. They're not prone to being destroyed, right? They're not able to be destroyed. They're spiritual bodies, right? Heavenly tabernacles, right? Because your body is a tabernacle, right? It says what? For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality, right? So we got to put on that immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Right? So that's, he's quoting the book of Hosea, right? But let's go back to this. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians 5, right? 2 Corinthians 5, and let's go to 3. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked, right? For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened. Why are we burdened? Because when we're entering into these fleshly bodies, or as we live in these fleshly bodies, guess what? Vanity has rule over you, right? The flesh rules over us in these fleshly bodies, you know? That's why we sin. That's why it's inevitable for us to be perfect in these fleshly bodies, right? Only your spirit can be found perfect, but our flesh can never be perfect. That's why the elect are groaning, right? Because you can't serve the Most High like you want to, right? You can't do what's right all the time, right? You can't be on fire 24/7, right? In these fleshly bodies, you're prone to go off, right? You're prone to do something, you know? You're bound to do something. And Paul, he talks about that in the book of Romans chapter 8, right? Let's go to Romans 8 real quick. I didn't want to make this too long. Let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 20. For the creature, so we're the creature, all right? Because Yahweh Bash Shah, he's a creator. Read about that in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1 on down. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope, right? So we're subject to vanity, right? What does that mean? Since we're in these fleshly bodies, vanity has the rulership over us and the dominion over us. Therefore, we can never serve the Most High perfectly in these fleshly bodies, right? That's why we're under the law of liberty. That's why we're under grace, right? It says what? Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God, right? For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. We're groaning in pain. And that even goes back to the covenant made with man, right? Or not covenant, but the punishment, right? Given to the chosen Adam and his descendants, right? And read Genesis chapter 3. That way, in sweat, right? In sweat shall you eat bread, right? Meaning that you got to work hard to get anything. You got to work hard, right? To just get bread, to just eat. You got to till the ground. You got to shovel. You got to do all this stuff, right? So now you're just working all your life, right? So the whole creation is groaning. You know what I'm saying? All right, but let's just go back to this. I'm going to close out, right? Let's go to Colossians 3. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 3, right? For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mahashiach in God. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. All right? So when Mahashiach Yahushua appears, we're going to appear with them in glory, right? The elect. With that, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shalom, willing this is edifying.